responded to the survey by the Price Waterhouse. The survey was conducted in 2011, as I've mentioned, on climate change and they call it as climate change and sustainability survey. And the aim of the survey is to solicit relevant information about the thinking and action on climate change mitigation and adaptation by the business sector, and also to help the government as well as the business and other stakeholders to understand how best to further efforts to manage the risks and maximize opportunities from climate change. So hindi lang po risk, may opportunities din from climate change. So the survey was structured into climate change impact and understanding. How does the industry understand climate change planning and strategy, climate change action, and perception of climate change stakeholders. So all the respondents expect climate change to impact their organization and a majority to a great extent. So considering that the climate change, that the Philippines is highly vulnerable to the impacts of climate change, there is an increasing trend in terms of increase in temperature and increase of precipitation. And also, the business sectors are concerned about the ability of their organization to manage the impact of climate change. So na-recognize na po na merong impact yung climate change. But the business sector is concerned on how to manage these impacts. Medyo hindi makita ata yung... So, okay. So, 95% believe that the physical impact presents risk to the organization. And also, 80, okay. So 95% believe that physical impacts present risk to their organization. Then 88% consider the longer-term impacts of climate change in their strategic plans or investment decisions. So meron naman po na mga within the business sectors that taking into consideration kung what could be the longer impacts in their strategic plans, meaning sinasama na nila sa pagpaplano nila ang climate change as well as in their investment decision. Pero hindi po, medyo kokonti pa rin ang putting this into a formal actions. They do recognize, but somehow there are only few of them who puts this into a formal or really mainstreaming it in their strategic action. Okay, this one shows us kung saan po that 95 believe that physical impacts presents risk, and then this one, tinitingnan po nito in terms of the adaptation and mitigation kung saan yung mga aspects of organization most impacted by climate change. So the highest its impact on economies and markets. Then also challenge to physical assets and infrastructure, yun na nakikita nilang impacts, as well as impacts to workforce, location, and availability. This one's looks at what could be the probable impacts of the different of climate change, and nirate po nila ito. Sorry for the very not so clear presentation here, slides. But somehow I think we will be posting this to our website so that you'll have a copy of this presentation. So this is just to mention that really the business sector is aware already, but really I think The challenge is the capacity on how to address the impacts of climate change, as well as how we could mitigate. Some of you do already have activities on how you are mitigating your emissions, because this one also translate into savings. Like for example, if you do your energy efficiency, definitely you have a saving in terms of decrease in consumption of power. So there are opportunities when you mitigate climate change. Okay. So this one, these are some of the benefit of doing your adaptation as well as your mitigation measures in terms of climate change. Also, very important is participatory governance, and also looking at and revisiting your business protection to protect your business assets also is very important. Looking at what could be your alternative operational plan that will enable the company to continue to operate and remain in business if there is disruption to the supply chain and distribution system. So this is, in a nutshell, the overview on climate change, and hope you gain some learnings or knowledge from this short presentation. We'll be posting the presentation for the whole event in our website. So sorry for the not so clear slides here, because I think of the distance of the projections. So again, thank you very much for your attention.
Let us all welcome Attorney Angela Consuelo Ibay of the Worldwide Fund for Nature Climate Change Coordinator, our host for the next segment entitled Presentation of Industry Best Practices on Climate Change Mitigation and Adaptation.
Good morning to everyone. Makalikasang umaga po sa inyong lahat. In behalf of the Worldwide Fund for Nature Philippines, we'd like to thank, of course, the PCCI and the Climate Change Commission for giving us the honor of hosting at least this session. Part of the session will be this morning, and then the early afternoon session will also include presentations of industry best practices on climate change mitigation and adaptation. Maybe to formalize first, before we get the sessions going, just to reiterate why we're having this particular session, because I think this is the meat of this summit. And essentially, it's to increase our awareness of climate change adaptation and mitigation in industries, encourage private industries to really develop climate resilient and low carbon initiatives by presenting to you these award-winning initiatives and projects of these companies. And of course, hopefully you learn to know more of the opportunities and cost benefits if you actually engage in climate resilient and low carbon initiatives. And lastly, to foster participative governance. And this is where the title of our summit today, which is Forging Partnerships between the government and the private sector when you implement your climate change adaptation and mitigation actions. The Climate Change Commission, and I understand also the Chamber, developed 4 criteria for which they were able to get candidates to speak to you this morning and early this afternoon. And essentially, there were 4 criteria for the best practices. One is they looked at the role towards green growth, whether the company has initiatives that look at green growth and a green path. They look at it as a climate smart industry in totality. Of course, that the company aims to build green opportunities within and outside the company itself, and also building business-friendly green initiatives. So these are 4 criteria that were included and looked at. So to get the session started, and may I also, of course, ask the indulgence that since I will not try to be a hindrance to your lunch, which will be served by noon, but we will overshoot a little bit in terms of the presentation by 12:15, and whoever of the presenters will be finished by then, the next ones will have to be towards the afternoon. So this is I understand that the speakers have already been told that. And to the speakers, do try to make it as succinct, meaning 10 minutes at most, since we will have, I will be strict. I mean, as I'm sure you have a lot to say, but we do have a portion right after the presentations of all the speakers to have an open forum from questions from the floor to be propounded to them. Okay, so to get the session started, we will have, of course, one of the leading manufacturing companies, especially in the food and beverage industry. We know them a lot. Most of us actually have their products probably at home. But many don't know that this is a company that also has climate change policies and strategies, both for mitigation and adaptation. And they've been awarded and recognized as an industry with superior environmental performance through the Philippine Environment Partnership Program, as well as their best practices being recorded in the publication called Climate Change Adaptation Best Practices in the Philippines. So without further ado, to present the best practices of climate change and adaptation mitigation of the Nestle Philippines Incorporated, we have their Vice President, Engineer Jesus Reyes.
Before I start, I'd like to thank and congratulate the Climate Change Commission for organizing this big Climate Change Summit. Let's give a big round of applause to Climate Change Commission led by Attorney Sering. Okay, let me start by introducing my company, Nestle Philippines, one of the biggest manufacturing companies in the world. And we're also big here in, meron palang, dito daw ako daw. Okay. One of the big manufacturing companies also in the Philippines, one of the top 10. We employ 3,600 employees and about 15,000 business partners. Some of them are with us in this forum. These are the tasty and nutritious products that we offer. And thank you very much for patronizing our products. And these are the 5 manufacturing facilities where we produce our products. Ms. Joy has already presented this chart, and I'd like to concentrate on water. This is our top priority. Okay? Now, let's first understand the realities on water. So we live in a blue planet. Kulay asul ang ating mundo. 70% of our planet is water. But 97% of this water is salt water. We are only left with 3% fresh water. Sounds.
Dahil sa pagbabago ng klima, mas kumukonti ang tubig. Napakadaming tao, ngunit konti lang ang malinis na tubig.
Mayroon pa kayang sapat na malinis na tubig para sa aming kinabukasan?
Isang porsyento lang ang lahat ng tubig sa buong mundo ang tubig tabang.
In 2003, the Philippines ranked second to the lowest in terms of annual renewable available water resource per capita. 5 years from now, regions 3 and 4 will experience water constraints, while regions 2 and 5 are expected to experience water constraint by 2025. Based on the study made by the Water Resource Board, 9 major cities were identified as high potential water constrained areas.
% ng katawan natin ay tubig. Ibig sabihin,
Ang tubig ay mahalaga. Ang tubig ay pinagmumulan ng buhay at kalusugan.
Bakit tayo nagsasayang ng tubig?
Bakit natin tinutumian ang tubig?
lahat tayo nangangailangan ng tubig para tayo'y pangalagaan.
Ngunit, kailangan din nating alagaan ang tubig bago mahuli ang lahat.
Kanina pinakita natin yung chart na nandun yung Pilipinas sa isa sa pinakakakaunti ang tubig. As of 2010, sabi ng National Water Resources Board, we are already the lowest in terms of the water availability per capita. The response to the water problems is here for Nestle Philippines. We have this Nestle commitment on water stewardship. So we work to continue to achieve water efficiency across our operations. We advocate for effective water policies. We treat our wastewater very effectively. And why is water important to us? First is that we source our materials from agriculture, and hindi kami magkakaroon ng coffee beans kung wala tayong tubig. So we also use a lot of water in our operations. And lastly, our consumers need water to consume our products. Mahirap uminom ng kape na walang tubig. Ano naman ang mga initiatives ng Nestle on water conservation?
Throughout its operations. First, through reusing water and increasing water efficiency in all Nestle sites. Rainwater harvesting is a system used to collect and store rain for later use from relatively clean surfaces such as roofs. The water is stored in a rainwater tank, and factories reuse this water for chillers and air conditioning systems. Reusing final rinsing water is an initiative that also increases water efficiency. The final rinsing water used during the cleaning of equipment is reused as the initial rinsing water for the next cleaning cycle. All factories reuse sealing water. Sealing water is water used as a coolant for vacuum pumps. This water is recirculated and used all over again as sealing water for the same pumps. Reverse osmosis is a process that cleans water pumped from the ground. In Nestle factories, reject water from reverse osmosis is used for flushing toilets and urinals. In Lipa factory, condensate is recovered from the band dryer and is used again as feed water for the boiler. This initiative alone has led to 7,305 0.40 cubic meters of water saved in Lipa factory in 2011, which is equivalent to 35,132 drums of water saved. Water conservation in Nestle goes beyond its internal operations. We also make sure that the water we discharge, if any, into our natural water resources go beyond compliance, and we make sure that we perform better than the DENR standards. In doing so, we are able to ensure a sustainable environment for marine life. As a matter of fact, Cagayan de Oro factory employs a last line of defense system, wherein the water that could still potentially have contaminants automatically goes back to its wastewater treatment facilities. On the other hand, Pulilan factory is a zero wastewater discharge factory. The water that is treated from the wastewater treatment facility is not being discharged into natural water resources, but instead, all of the effluent water is reused in various areas of the factory, such as the evaporative condenser and fish pond, promoting further water efficiency. River cleanups are also done as Nestle keeps a caring eye for rivers and creeks that run through the communities where it operates. Understanding that the agricultural sector also contributes to water consumption, Nestle teaches farmers water conservation practices such as mulching, intercropping, and sloping agricultural land technology. Nestle Philippines, through Project WET, educates communities and schools in areas where we operate on the importance of water. And to further share environmental best practices, Nestle has been running the Greening the Supply Chain program since 2000, which aims to increase the level of environmental commitment of its business partners. Through this effort, our partners, who are part of the GSC in 2010 and 2011, have pledged to save a total of 198,600 cubic meters, which is equivalent to about 1 million drums of water.
We also do advocacy on water conservation. So we participate in exhibits, and we also had a TV commercial.
Sa mata ng bata, ang maling halimbawa ay nagiging tama.
Paborito mong tinola. I-defrost muna natin ang manok, ha? Tapos, iwain natin.
Every drop counts. Magtipid na. Mata ng bata, ang maling halimbawa ay nagiging tama.
Aday, saan draga mo ti mami? Ilang ha?
Every drop counts. Magtipid na. Sa mata ng bata, ang maling halimbawa ay nagiging tama. Every drop counts. Magtipid na.
Okay, what is Project WET? We also do Project WET, Water Education for Teachers, and we do this among our employees, communities, and our teachers. And lastly, we also had sponsored this Nestle Water Leadership Award. This is really an award for schools that demonstrate good environmental practices. Now, we are doing more than just water. We also do environment sustainability. So we know that, I borrowed this slide from one of the climate change presentations, saying that way back 2006, we are already using up, we need already 1.3 planet Earths. And by 2020, we need 2 planet Earths to support the population we have in the Philippines. And to be able to address that issue, we have this principle, we make Nestle resourceful. And we have a comprehensive policy on the environment, which focuses on full compliance with all the environmental standards and all internal standards of Nestle, continual improvement of our environmental initiatives, systematic assessment through certifying ISO 4001 standards, and responsible sourcing. And this is actually the result of our efforts on environment. And we can see there that as our production increases, we're able to bring down the level of our environmental impact in terms of energy, use of water, wastewater discharge, total solid waste. For the Philippines, this is our chart that also shows that how we are able to reduce our environmental impact. Okay, so it's important that we do environmental initiatives not just for our own operations. We'd like also to influence our business partners to do the same. And we have this Green Supply Chain program, and these are the steps. First is getting commitment from the CEOs of our business partners through the launching program. Second is by providing free education to our business partners through environment management system trainings. Third is customized assistance by doing visits to their facilities. Fourth is being able to sustain their motivation and provide continuous education through environment fora, which we hold every 4 months. And we also recognize our business partners who are able to demonstrate good environmental performance. These are the gains of our business partners on the Green Supply Chain program. And in the end, I'd like to give the message from our CEO, Mr. John Miller. So he says, helping care for the environment through Green Supply Chain is one of the many sustainable ways we create shared value, which is integral to our mission of nurturing generations of Filipino families. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Reyes, for a very entertaining but very informative presentation on the best practices that Nestle has been doing, not only for its company, but also for the communities it serves. Our next presenter, from water we go to food, and it's in timely because lunch it will be served late. It's waiting for us, so we will have someone from the food industry, a food chain with 40 franchises nationwide that uses biodegradable packaging, materials, and recycles used cooking oil to contribute to climate change adaptation. They have a number of best practices that they can show, and in fact was featured also in the Climate Change Adaptation Best Practices in the Philippines book in 2012. So without further ado, help me welcome Mr. Romel T. Juan, who's the President and Chief Executive Officer of Binalot Fiesta Foods. Mr. Juan.
Okay, before I start, I have a very short video that I'd like to show. Okay, so we won't show the video. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, slash. I'm Romel Juan. I'm with Binalot Fiesta Foods. I'd like to thank the Climate Change Commission for inviting me. Secretary Siring is actually my schoolmate in LaSalle, but I don't think she remembers me. But anyway, Sir Jess presented one of the largest manufacturing businesses in the Philippines, and from the largest, we are Binalot, one of the smallest fast food chains in the Philippines. But we have a story to share with you. I got very excited. I know I only have 10 minutes, but I prepared 82 slides. But I will make it short, no? Okay, where is it? Okay, 2 minutes. Naku. So 8 minutes na lang. Kasi natatakot ako kay Gia eh. Stricto to eh. Well, anyway, I'm Romel Juan. I'm with Binalot, and basically our business started in 1996. And well, we started as a guerrilla operation before. Everything will be in the slide eh. Pero hindi siya ready. No? Okay. Dapat pala nagdala na lang ng projector. But anyway, okay, so what we did was, I started right after college, and basically we started delivering food to Makati. I lived in a very small condominium in Makati, and that's where we started. We started delivering, because when I was growing up, my mom would wrap our food in banana leaves. No? And I know a lot of you people here have experienced that also. No? Dati kasi pag magbaon tayo, binabalot sa dahon ng saging talaga. So right after college, I come from a very entrepreneurial family. And then sabi ko sa brother ko, why don't we put up a business? And sabi niya, anong business? And then nagtinginan kami, pareho kami mukhang busog. So sabi namin, binalot na lang. Food, no? So what kind of food? Sabi ko, remember before when our mom used to wrap our food in banana leaves, sabi ko, let's do that. Let's go back to basics because I'm sure the people in Makati are tired of siomai, ganyan. Ito na yung video. Can we show the video first? Okay. Please watch.
Welcome back sa Mel and Joey, mga kaibigan, partner. Papakita natin yung dream come true para sa isang negosyong binalot.
Binalot?
Oo,
Yung binalot
basta
ganon?
binalot. Pinarangalan to sa abroad dahil sa konsepto nitong gumamit ng balat ng saging as packaging sa kanilang produkto. Sino mag-aakala na mula sa isang trahedya na dulot ng bagyong si Milenyo, remember? Nakapagbigay sila ng kabuhayan sa ating mga kababayan.
Galing,
Here is the success story of
Binalot.
Wow.
Tapa, longganisa, at mga pagkain all-time favorites ng mga Pinoy.
Siyempre, yan yung talagang nakikis na natin mga Pilipino, di ba?
Lalong pinasasarap kung ibabalot sa dahon ng saging.
Yung mga ninuno natin, ang pagkain naman talaga, di ba, pag dinadala daw sa bukid, nakabalot sa dahon ng saging. No? At pagbuksan mo, mabango siya, tapos sariwang-sariwa.
Ngayon, dito sa syudad nyo, matitikman.
Mas masarap ang pagkain talaga pag nakabalot sa dahon ng saging. Kasi mas natural.
Pinakikilala, Binalot Restaurant, kung saan ang mga pagkain na hindi lang katakam-takam kundi presented with a twist pa.
Sabi namin, magtayo tayo ng negosyo. At yung ideya nang galing sa mother ko, binabalot niya yung pagkain namin sa dahon ng saging.
Pilipinong-Pilipino rin ang kanilang packaging dahil gamit nila walang iba kundi ang dahon ng saging. At itong dahilan upang manalo sila ng International Award sa Amerika.
I-recognize nila ang binalot because of our end-to-end service. Nakalaban natin ang mga bansa katulad ng China, Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam. So ngayon lang sila nagbigay ng prize internationally at ang nanalo pa ay Pilipinas.
Ang dahon program na kanilang pinisimula noong January 2007 ang nagbigay sa kanila ng malaking kalamangan sa mga nakalaban.
Ang ibig sabihin ng dahon ay dangal at hanap buhay para sa nayon. Ang nagudyok sa amin dito, nung bumagyo ang milenyo, naubos ang dahon ng saging sa Luzon. So wala kaming makuhang dahon ng saging. No? Ang ginawa namin, nag-adapt kami ng isang komunidad sa Southern Tagalog at doon ang gagaling lahat ng dahon ng saging natin. Yung mga lalaki nung komunidad, sila ang nagtatabas nung dahon ng saging. Yung mga babae naman na nagugupit para doon sa specs ng binalot. At nagkakaroon sila ng livelihood.
At ang 10,000 dolyar na naging premyo, kanilang ginamit para itatag ang Binalot Foundation upang mas marami pang komunidad ang kanilang matulungan. Ang kanilang kakaibang pangalan sa menu, ang mascot nilang si Mang Bina at ang iba't ibang nakakatawang murals sa kanilang tindahan. Ang ilan pa sa mga dahilan kung bakit sila'y karapat-dapat bansagang ang pambansang Chibugan.
Mapakilala at ma-reintroduce sa ating mga kababayan yung kulturang Pilipino.
Pero ang pinakamahalaga sa lahat,
kung meron kayong magandang ideya, just go for it.
mga pagkaing Pinoy siguradong rap sa ang inyong kainan.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, parang Joey. No? Thank you. So I only have 1 minute left. Can we? Sige na. Nasaan na yung slide? Okay. So this is I'm not really a lecturer, I'm not really a speaker. Mahilig lang ho ako magkwento. So kikwentohan ko na lang ho kayo. Okay ho ba yon? Okay. Gutom na ho ba kayo? Taman-tama. Bagon lahat, nandyan yung, ito yung pumipicture sa akin. Yan si Bibian. Kaway ka naman, Bibian. Kukunan ho kayo ng picture niyan, mag-smile ho kayo kasi lalagay namin kayo sa Facebook namin, tapos tatag namin kayo. Pwede niyo itag niyo sarili niyo. But anyway, meron ho siyang dalang mga lunch showcase. No? So mamaya pwede namin i-raffle yung lunch na binalot. No? Anyway, I already told you how we started. No? I come from a very entrepreneurial family. Ito kami kumakain sa dahon ng saging. No? Ayan ho, ang daddy ko, ito, get ready, gwapo yan daddy ko eh. This is my dad. Yan. He made jeeps. Ang business namin is jeeps. Actually, our other company makes electric jeeps po. Alam po ni Attorney Gia yan. Ito yung mga jeep namin. Ito, mas cute naman. Ang mami ko naman, ito, mami ko, get ready. Yan, mas cute siya. She managed a school. And the school is Sacred Heart School in Malabon where I studied. Kaya po gumraduate ako ng second honorable mention. At saka Vice President ng Student Council. At saka Singer of the Year. Okay. Huwag nyo na ako pakantahin. Wala na tayong oras. Okay. You know, when I was growing up, pag summer ho, wala ho kaming allowance. Because, you know, sabi niya, wala namang pasok eh. Magtrabaho ka kung gusto mo ng pera. So pinagpintura ho kami ng mga school chairs. And I collected nails pag may construction. Tapos pupukpukin ko ho yun. Babalik ko sa tatay ko. Babayaran niya ako ng 25 centimos isa. No? So, I learned the value of money early on. And I sold, yan, nahalata na yung edad. Nagbibenta ako ng mga sticker dati. Voltes 5. No? Tsaka ng mga small toys. My dad would bring toys to me before from his trips. Sabihin ko, Dad, ang dami naman nito, 10. Sabi niya, hindi. Isa lang dyan yung sayo. Yung siyam, ibenta mo. No? Balik mo sa akin yung puhunan. He was establishing my credit at an early age. Tsaka, alam niyo ba to? Viewmaster, di ba? Dinadala ko yan sa eskwelahan. Tapos maglalaro ako ganun. Sabihin ng mga kalaro ko, uy, pera. Papahiram kong ganyan. Sabi nila, nasan yung bala? Sabi ko, yung bala for rent. No? Nakikita ko dyan. And in college, I sold, yan, Lasa Light ho, green na green. Champion ho kami this year. Sorry, plugging. But yun, I sold, ayan, yung we're number 1 pag UAP dati, tapos pag baligtarin mo, may paypay ka na, di ba? Tapos, that time, nagkaroon ng kudeta, so naggawa kami ng t-shirt, I survived the kudeta. Yan. Pasko niyan eh, so ang dami namin nabenta, no? And then discovering the market, you know, I worked after graduation. I worked for Toyota where I learned how to bow. And in Honda, I learned how to sell. No? And that's what I joined our family business. Although I still had a lot of time in my hands. So sabi ko, anong gagawin natin? I was thinking of Binalot already. No? And in 1996, together with my partners, we started Binalot. Okay? I started guerrilla operations muna. So nag-survey muna ako sa mga kaibigan ko. How's the price? How's the packaging? How's the presentation? And they were very honest with me. Sabi nila, Romel, masyadong mura. Sabi ko, madali. Taasan natin. No? And, you know, wala pa akong alam sa markup, margin, mga pricing, ganyan dati. Ang pricing strategy ko dati, kung tawagin namin is ceiling price. Alam niyo ceiling price? Titingin kami sa ceiling, mag-iisip kami ng price. Pwede na yan, 38 pesos. And then we started in a condominium until we were kicked out because the whole floor started to smell like adobo. No? Flyers, I did my own flyers. Wala pang digital camera dati. Kami yung nag-picture ng Instamatic camera. That's why all the rice look like unan. Mukhang unan lahat. No? And then our very first store was in Jupiter Street. And as you can see, the windows are very dark. Why? Because naubos yung capital namin to paint the outside. Wala naman kami pang-renovate sa loob. So ang ginawa ko, tinint ko na lang yung bintana, tapos pag may umu-order, gumaganon ako. Ano ho yun? Kunin ko yung pera. Sige po. Ganyan. Tapos pinadeliver, we were delivering. No? We started with 50,000 pesos. You might wonder why we have motorcycles. That's because of COD. Alam niyo yung COD? Care of Daddy. Yan. Pinautang na naman ako ng tatay ko. But in 1997, the crisis hit and you know, our delivery started to fail. No? So buti na lang, we started, Shangri-La offered us, gave us an offer. And we constructed Shangri-La with 24,000 pesos, I remember, because we did our own construction and everything. And at that time, yan, yung girlfriend ko. Yung girlfriend ko kasama ko dati, nung nagbubukas kami, kasi ang haba ng pila, hindi ko na alam yung gagawin ko. Kaya lang itong girlfriend ko, ex-girlfriend na yan. Kasi ho, pinakasalan ko. No. Anyway, ano ba connection nito? But anyway, kasi nung time na yun, sabi niya, huy, mahaba yung pila, bukas na tayo, pumasok ka na, ikaw na yung magbalot, akong kukuha ng pera. So hanggang ngayon ho, ganun pa rin. Ako nagbabalot siya, ako kumukuha ng pera. And that's the fruits of our love. Yan, mana lahat sa akin. So, sorry ho, back to Binalot. I just want, nagpakita lang ng pictures. Expansion one by one, we started expanding, we got confidence, we opened one by one in the malls, and then we started to franchise, and from franchising, that's where we grew. We opened in Greenbelt, Robinsons, Market, Binondo, andito pala Robinsons, and then we opened in Alpha Land, RCBC, California Garden, Eastwood, and then, meron pa tayo sa Marikina, Valenzuela, sa Suleiman. Meron pa sa Panglao, sa Tagbilaran, sa Subic, La Union, Cagayan de Oro. So we're now 42 stores nationwide. Thank you very much. Okay, to be the preferred truly Filipino quick service restaurant in the Philippines, which promotes Filipino culture and sustains the environment. It's in our vision. Okay? Ang idol ko pa rin ho, si Mr. Tony Tan. May malaking picture ako niya sa opisina, may kandila doon pag dumadaan ako, gumaganon ako. But, you know, all Filipino, environment friendly. And we do this with our corporate values, teamwork, loyalty, joy, integrity, creativity, efficiency, anchored in faith in God. No? And then I'll show you our logo, how it developed. Nung nagsimula ho kami, ito logo namin, mukhang anime. Tapos mahilig ako sa pugad baboy, kaya ginawa kong pugad baboy. Tapos pinapayat ko na ho kasi gusto ko pumayat. Yan, so in 2003. And now it's more formal. Yan, nakabarong Tagalog na siya. No? Gutom na ba kayo? Okay, gutumin ko kayo lalo. By now, you know that I'm very corny. I'm the type of guy who likes to say, what's wrong, Polo Barong? What's the matter, peanut butter? You know, for a wild crocodile. So yung mga pagkain namin, gusto ko rhyming din ho. No? So meron kaming Vivo Tocino. Yan. Meron din kaming Love Me Tender, loin tips. Meron din kaming bistek, walastik, para sa Quezon City, Mayor bistek. Bopisticated, if you want to be sophisticated, you eat our bopisticated, no? Meron din kaming may, dinuguan, and only, no? And meron din kaming anytime, anyhow na baboy, no? Gusto namin maging healthy, so meron din kaming gulay. Ang gulay namin, where have you been? I've been to London to visit the Queens. Meron din kaming you bet, pinakbet, no? And then, meron din kaming together again, pang date. Saka meron kaming along came talong with bagoong. Okay? So, natutuwa na ho kami. Ako, when I go to the store and I see people look at the menu board and they laugh, solve na ako noon. Sabi ng mga gay friends, ay, sisig na makisig. Meron kaming sisig na makisig. So, merienda. Okay, but binalot is, by default, binalot is an environment-friendly concept. Why? Because we use banana leaves. We don't use styro. We use biodegradable packaging. Okay? Ang hirap naman magbalot sa styro, no? But this is binalot, beware of imitations. Super sarap ulam, kamatis, itog na maalat, kanin na hindi nakakabitin. Yung kanin namin pangkargador. Tapos merong asin, tapos merong craft paper. So kompleto na siya, portable, delectable. No? Our advocacies is, of course, to stop climate change. This is Ondoy, a picture from Ondoy. What caused this? Among other things, we have last 2 minutes. Ang naklag yung mga esteros natin. Why? Because of non-biodegradable packaging. So, it's your choice. You know, you go non-biodegradable or you can go natural. Go binalot. Plugging, no? So, you choose. Last year, we saved 2 million styro packs from being used. Why? Because we did not use them. We used dahon ng saging. And it's small guys like us who will really start it, no? And hopefully, the bigger guys will follow. No? So eco-friendly packaging, we're introducing usable bags, washables, and also we're the first fast food restaurant to use electric bikes to deliver our food. No? Yeah. So, you know, even we're trying to make a difference kahit maliit kami. No? But at the heart of Binalot is our Dahon program. It's our CSR. It started with another disaster, you know. Kaya po sa Binalot, talagang nag-move kami because that we're very conscious about the environment. Because of another disaster, Typhoon Milenyo, naubos lahat ng dahon saging sa Luzon. So we had to go to the source, and we found that source in a community in Nagcarlan, Laguna, which we adopted. We found the community leader, and the CSR was born. So the men are the ones who harvest the leaves from the jungle. The women are the ones who cut and clean the banana leaves for us. We're supporting 30 families in Nagcarlan, Laguna, and because of this, we were recognized. The UPS Award in the US in 2007, the Anvil Award in 2008, the Entrepreneur Franchise Award, the Bid Challenge, And ito yung pinakatuwan-tuwa ako. Halatang halata. In 2010, we won the Intel AIM Corporate Responsibility Award. The reason I was so happy was because they said, aside from the Ramon Orlina trophy that we're giving Binalot, Intel will also give $10,000 to Binalot. Kaya po tuwan-tuwa ako. So, you know, they always say, if you give, you get, it comes back to you 1,000-fold. To us, it came back 10,000-fold dollars pa. And the International Green Apple Awards, we won in 2012. At, yun. So over and above, Binalot is really a leaf of faith. Corny. With the habagat advocacies that we have, every time magkaroon ng habagat, di na ho kailangan magkaroon ng typhoon ngayon. Every year meron na, habagat lang ang tawag, bumabaha na ho. We try to help. Through social media, we get pledges and we make relief meals that we deliver to affected communities. And because of this, sikat na kami. Nire-retweet na kami ni Chris, tsaka ni Daphne Osenia, tsaka ni Ami Perez. No? So because of that, you know. And our tips, the things that we learned, just to share with you, with Binalot, we learned that in business you have to be fast. You have to be fast in decision making, and you have to be fast in action. So pag meron ho kayong mga initiatives or business decisions, please do not procrastinate, do it fast, avoid analysis paralysis. Persistence, as you can see, ang dami ng mga napagdaanan namin ng mga crisis, but it only made us stronger. Believe in the product, believe me, I eat Binalot every day. And surround yourself with people smarter than you, kaya po ako pumupunta sa mga ganito. No? And don't fret if you're not smart, most entrepreneurs are B students. Thank your antagonist. You know, there was a time my antagonist was my father because he said, why are you focusing on that small business? You're forgetting the big business. I only got my vindication when he got a franchise from me. Sabi ko, pilip ka rin pala eh. And be original. Why do I say this? Because who's the first man in the moon? Neil Armstrong. Who's the second? Malay, di ba? Do what you enjoy doing. I always say, you know, I heard this from one of my entrep idols before, si Manny Villar. Sabi niya, why is Lucio Tan, Henry C., and John Gokongwei all well into their 80s? Why are they still working up to now? It's because they enjoy every minute of it. So enjoy what you are doing. How can you tell a singer to stop singing? How can you tell a painter to stop painting? How can you tell an entrepreneur to stop doing business? Always be positive and think of the environment. Before I end, this is very serious. Please like us on Facebook. And follow us on Twitter. And you might win a Binalot franchise. Joke only. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rommel. You're forgiven for going a little bit over time. But of course, from water, we went to food. For some, after eating food, you actually go to another beverage company. We will have one more presenter before we break for lunch. And we're privileged to have, many know this as in the alcohol business, but few know that they are actually a manufacturing company that adopts a green productivity policy with sustainability as their guiding principle. The company continually commits to free application and delivery of their distillery effluents, among others, which are part of their best practices. And in fact, they've been also featured in the Climate Change Adaptation and Best Practices publication. So for the last speaker in this morning's session, we will have with us the overall in charge of distillery operations for the Lucio Tan group of companies, Mr. Gerardo T., who will talk about Absolute Distillery Incorporated's best practices. Mr. Jerry.
Good afternoon to everyone. Alam ko pong gutom na kayo, so iiksian ko na lang to. I'm Jerry T. of Absolute Distillers. We are a subsidiary of Tanduay Distillers, the makers of Tanduay rum, and Tanduay being the second largest manufacturer of rum in the world. And what am I doing here in a climate change convention? Well, distillery had always been an industry where we produce a lot of organic waste. In fact, they say that the distillery effluent has one of the highest BOD in the world. So if we do not take care of our effluent, this will all be converted into methane, and methane is 21 times the global warming potential of carbon dioxide. So why are we a green hero? Well, you cannot really understand what we have done if you're not going to look into, what is who we are. The alcohol industry started as polluters, okay? We have admitted that, and I am here to make you understand that we came from humble beginnings. We came from being, seen as the usual suspects. Every time that there will be fish kills in rivers, ang DNR, itatanong, may distillery ba dyan? So kami lagi ang, every time. So Attorney Ibay, who used to be with the Pollution Adjudication Board knows that. Parada kami lagi, sunod-sunod lahat ng distillery sa Pollution Adjudication Board, trying to ask them to reconsider our case and not to close us down. So cease and desist order were the order of our daily existence. No, we need to beg them to consider our plight and to give us a temporary lifting order so that we can continue our business. So we started off as we are the illegitimate sons of the sugar industry actually and polluters. No, we are illegitimate sons of the sugar industry because the main product, the main raw material that we use for liquor or for fermentation and distillation is molasses, which is a byproduct of the sugar industry. It's a viscous liquid na if you just let it go into the any body of water, sigurado for sure patay lahat ang maglulutangan ng isda dyan. So why is Absolute Distillers different? In the early 90s, when we had grown tired of going every month or every other month being called by these complainants, and pupunta kami kay Attorney Ibay o Attorney, temporary lifting order, okay. So we thought that it's not really possible to profit at this stage na you cannot profit with dignity. For us, we need to do something that we will not be would be dignified and do not profit at the expense of the environment. So we made amends, and we promised the DNR that we will put our acts together, and then we promise that we will police each other. We promise that we will have a foundation. We will work through a foundation or the Center for Alcohol Research and Development Foundation, which the operations I head. No, and we made sure that we check each other's back and look for technologies that would help us in trying to prevent this wastewater from harming the environment. We look at technologies, especially we partner with UP Biotech to put together a study of our wastewater, its characteristic. By the way, our effluent is actually organic, and it's not toxic, so it's all organic. Alcohol is an organic compound, so meaning that it's not as bad as it is, okay? No. Uh, when we tried looking at this, we found out that the distillery effluent is composed of so many micronutrients, nutrients that is good for the soil and that is good for farming, and it's organic. So with the continued use of fertilizer in sugarcane farms, meron pong tinatawag tayo nagiging acidic na yung soil. So yung nakikita nyo yung harvest ng sugarcane is lumiliit na. So we decided to look into our effluent and try to recycle it rather than dispose it into any body of water or a river or what have you, or ship it into the ocean. We'd rather try to look into it and recycle it. Lo and behold, circa 1999, 2000, we were able to find farmers that would be interested in accepting or in trial. We did farm trials to support our claim that this is good for the farmers and this would increase their yield and put back the nutrients that was lost in the soil by the prolonged use of inorganic, imported, and expensive fertilizers. So, come after 2 or 3 years, kasi the farmers will just say that you're tired of dumping your waste into the ocean, into the river. Now, you are trying to dump it in our land. So, rightly so, we need to do some IEC. We need to do information, education, and communication. It's a long process, actually. So, after 9 or 10 years, awards started coming in. We were the first and maybe one of the very few, or I don't know how many, who was able to comply with the 3 Green Growth Program. If I were to show this slide, 10 years ago, no one would believe me that a distillery would be able to achieve this. We were able to get our clean development mechanism. There's Industrial EcoWatch, CDM, and the PEPP. We were able to get our CDM on October 1, 2006. And then that was the second in the country. We were trying to get it ahead of the Bangi, the windmills of Ilocos, but we were beaten by around 11 days. They got theirs on September 20. We got ours October 1, 2006. Anyway, we were the first in the manufacturing sector to have been able to get a clean development mechanism. Project 0504, that is a grant given by the Mitsubishi Corporation of around $2 million to put up imagine nyo, si Lucio binigyan ng pera ng Mitsubishi. Our chairman is so happy to know that with people, with companies like Mitsubishi looking and supporting our cause, no, and helping us go through with our operations, no. It was in 2006 also that we started looking at other technologies, not only CDM. But let me show you first a process flow of a distillery waste, no? Coming into, before it goes into the lagoons, it passes through a biogas digester, which is actually the subject of our CDM. And a clean development mechanism by any other means is not an easy project to complete, no? It goes through a rigorous audit from the United from the United Nations, and and it undergoes an audit every year just to check how much emissions or how much methane gas have you destroyed. No, so the gist of our technology, the gist of our wastewater treatment or our distillery treatment is just to destroy and prevent methane from being emitted into the atmosphere. So we burn it inside the boiler, and then the effluent goes over that flows out of that digester goes into trucks, and we send those effluent, that organic fertilizer or liquid fertilizer, for free to around 1,500 farmers, which is equivalent to around 23 million pesos a year savings. This is actually our project 0504. That is the title of our CDM, and we're so proud to be able, for a distillery to be able to be the second, to be able to get a CDM project. This is the grant that was. This is the picture of the plant that was given by Mitsubishi Corporation, and the covered lagoons. And this is just technical, anyway. So SLAPS, that has a BOD of around 60 to 80,000 ppm, has one of the highest organic load in the world. We from a waste, we were able to turn it into a resource, and that paved the way for Absolute to get awards, just like the Green Apple Awards on November 14, 2011. I will have to jump into this. We are proud that the DNR had been continuously recognizing what we have done. We were telling them that we were just complying with the rules and regulations. So we were the first distillery to be given a green rating for 2 consecutive years. We received a Track 1 award. No, we are the only distillery that has been able to get these awards, and it is beyond compliance. It's a PEPP. A certificate of recognition from Malacanang. The first time a distillery ever set foot in Malacanang, no? Considering our past, no? And a success story from the Pollution Control Association of the Philippines, recognizing what we have done to further the plight of the alcohol industry. We no longer are considered as the problematic industry of the past. No, another EcoWatch rating, and Global CSR Awards, EcoSwitch Award, and this prestigious Green Apple Award, given to a distillery, to the only distillery in the world, actually. So we were the first distillery in the world to have won an environmental best practice gold award at the awarding ceremonies was given at the House of Commons in London, England, with our chairman and and his wife in tow. So we received this award in behalf of Absolute Distillers, and we're so proud of this, because when I saw in the newspaper that the Save Las Piñas River of Congresswoman Cynthia Villar, then mayor, received a silver trophy, we were so inspired to try to vie and maybe win a medal of sorts. So a big achievement for the alcohol industry. And Well, of all government agency, we're so happy that the DNR finally had given us a DNR Special Award for superior environmental performance and continuous compliance with environmental laws, rules, and regulations. We are no longer a polluter. So, sabi nga nila, we have come a long way daw, and then, well, we hope we can continuously live up to their expectations. No? So, a certificate of merit again from the CSR, a Mother Nature Award, and after the 2011 Green Apple Awards, we were sent a plaque by the Green Apple organization as Green Heroes for 2012. Our story was actually presented in their green book that is distributed all over the world only for the sustainable green companies that they have chosen all over the world. And well, another award given to us by the Philippine Chamber of Commerce, Excellence in Ecology and Economy Award. And just recently, Absolute Distillers and Asia Gas Corporation had partnered to develop a liquid biomethane wherein this is a 2 billion project that will be situated beside Absolute Distillers. Asia Gas or Aboitiz company will process our wastewater, come up with methane, purify the methane, separate the carbon dioxide, liquefy it, and we'll send it to the cars, to our cars, diesel cars, as alternative fuel. So ito po ay kauna-unahan, as they said, this is the first of its kind in the world. So it will not be operational until July of 2015. So let's wait for this. We are now going to start constructing this maybe first quarter of next year. So another feather in our cap, and hopefully this will help ease the consumption of fossil fuel by reducing the use of diesel. So this is the process, and again, this is biogas technology. The carbon dioxide in biogas will be separated, compressed, and again, it will be able to run the liquid biomethane or the compressed methane. The pure methane will be able to run our jeepneys, number one, jeepneys, trucks, and other equipment that consumes diesel. And that's about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Jerry T. from Absolute Distillers. It's very nice to see you in non-confrontational surroundings. So with that, we end this morning's session. Lunch will be served at buffet tables on both sides of the hall. We will resume at 1:15 and for 4 more presentations, after which we will actually have an open forum to entertain questions from your end. So with that, I hope you enjoy your lunch. And do finish your food, because otherwise that will be part of your carbon footprint if you don't finish your food and your water. Thank you.